To support the show, visit us at patreon.com/retroam. Get early access, bonus episodes, and access to our growing collection of premium podcasts, where we cover other JRPGs like Terranigma, Parasite Eve, and Star Ocean.
Hey, Eric.
What's up, Chris?
Happy Shin Megami Tensei 5 Day.
Thank you.
Just wanted to wish you, congratulate you. I think you have it. I don't know. Did you buy it?
Yeah, I bought it. I played it for 2 hours today.
Oh, do you like it?
Uh-huh.
Okay, cool. Maybe I'll get into Shin Megami Tensei someday. I never have. Not for any reason. Just haven't. Anyway, you want to hear some hot sounds?
Yeah.
Okay. Welcome to Retrograde Amnesia, a comprehensive podcast where we discuss classic JRPGs chapter by chapter, beat by beat. This is Final Fantasy VIII Disc 3. This time we're going to the White Seed ship. My name is Chris. I'm joined by Eric. Hey, Eric.
Hey, Chris.
Hey.
What's up, mate? Drop your wedding ring in a Coca-Cola, watch it dissolve, and drink it for life.
Does that work?
I don't know. Drop it.
I don't have Coca-Cola, by the way.
We'll get some. There's that orange Livewire Mountain Dew we've kept in the fridge for 2 years. We can bust that open.
We never did the Soylent, the Soylent Trust.
No, I almost bought the 24 pack of mint, and you told me not to. So
I did?
yeah.
Yeah, it's probably bad.
So we didn't need 24 of those fucking. We'll get one.
One of these days. We're also joined by the RealNet, a collective of patrons who are listening to us record live. You too can join the conversation at patreon.com/retroam. Thank you to all of our patrons for making this a fun thing.
We're also joined by the FakeNet, our post-production AI companion, and roaming demon of the world of Diat in Shin Megami Tensei 5.
Initializing FakeNet.
I look forward to hanging out with Satan, Beelzebub, Lucifer, and Jesus of Nazareth.
Hello, FakeNet.
Hello, Crisp. I found some eyeballs in the street. I put him on some spare meat and I call it Crisp, like you.
Thanks.
When you see V, do you say 5 or do you say V?
I say 5.
Yeah, I say 5 too.
Usually. Yeah. I think it's because I grew up on the Final Fantasy and other things. Okay, Eric. So we woke up, right?
In the exact same spot as last time, Balam Garden. We're in the infirmary.
Yeah. Is Balam Garden playing?
No, my boy is passed out at the foot of the bed. He wants to hear Renoa's voice. He stands up, gestured wildly, and apparently screams, "I can see you if we go back in time. Maybe even change things, even if Alone just said she couldn't. Alone, can you hear me? Send me back to the moment Renoa went into a coma. Renoa coma rhymes."
Does it?
Not really.
He waits a bit, and then he sits on a stool. He thinks, "Alone, you won't answer me. I know she's on the White Seed ship. White Seed? Edia's ship. Edia's seed? Maybe Edia would know the whereabouts of the ship. Then I can see Alone. Then maybe I can go back. Like, I get it, dude, but this is a shitty plan and it's not going to work, and I blame Alone for not explaining the rules of time travel to him."
Yeah, also, he just said we were going to leave Edea alone.
Yeah. And also, we've already been back and taken our card of her.
Yeah, true. Mm-hmm. So, anyway.
This is dumb and stupid, but do you think he wants to try everything to fix Renoa? And this is like, you saw his logic line: White Seed ship, White Seed, Edia's seed, Edia's seed. Maybe Edea no. Like, Edea already said, "I don't know shit."
Yeah.
He already thinks she knows shit.
Maybe this is an attempt to communicate Squall's desperation for the moment.
I don't able to mind talk to Alone though. Like, she's always just kind of buzzed in regardless of the circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the cafeteria. The seed candidates are gone. They're not there anymore.
They're dead?
I think they graduate. I don't know.
No, I think that room has like 2 or 3 different possible configurations. So if you go in and out, sometimes different guys will be there.
Oh, they never come back as far as I know. Like, I think their quest line's ended.
Oh, okay. Congrats. I haven't gone back since that last conversation.
Did you do anything else at Garden before we went to Matron's house to ask Eddie about this shit?
I did not. I tried to trigger that Zell stuff again, but it didn't work.
Yeah, me too. Wonder where we went wrong on that one.
I stopped by Edea's house. She told me. She tells me.
Truth plays.
Truth. Thank you. It's the truth. She told me that the White Seed ship people are very cautious, and so they won't remain in one place at a time.
She didn't say people, though. She says children.
Oh, she does?
Yeah, she says those children are very cautious.
Yeah, so...
No adults on board.
It's just a roving orphanage, I guess. I mean, I guess all seeds, whether they were raised at Balam Garden or at the White Seed ship, are just orphans, right?
I guess so.
From the Sorceress War. However, they may have stationed their ship at an inlet somewhere on the Centra continent.
Because they've taken a liking to it. They love continents, Chris.
They love continents. They fear nothing. She also gives Squall a letter. With this, they shall welcome you, she tells him. If you speak with SeeD, he tells us that they first came up with I guess the ship, to protect Alone from Eshtar. Adea served as captain of the ship, but before long, many children were brought aboard, and it became somewhat of an orphanage. Thank you for answering the question I just asked in the podcast, SeeD. Adea taught the children well, and they too were referred to as SeeDs. So I guess the idea for Balam Garden grew out of that.
He's a prototype.
Yeah. We still haven't connected the dots of how Alone got into Adea's care, but we do know that Laguna has a connection with her from the thing that we saw in the previous episode of this podcast.
It's a work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
So when you enter this building, it's interesting that when you walk in, both Edea and SeeD stop looking out at the open water and have to take a couple steps toward the player. That's an intentional decision, and I think it was made to give them a contemplative disposition. They're staring out into the water, searching for their souls. I love open bodies of water and the tide, and I always think about their inclusion in games beyond the realistic water tech flex. But did you notice that, though? They always have to, walk up to you and approach you from what they were doing. They could just be standing there when you walk in. Yeah,
that's true. So they were out here trying to, they're basically out here trying to, for therapeutic reasons.
Yeah, they're trying to sort their shit out.
Because, as angry as we are at SeeD,
yeah,
he's still, he's in the shit. I don't necessarily think he's a good person for the way he's arranged all of these plans, but still, I don't think he did it for a bad reason, so he probably feels terrible about all this shit.
He also wants to get away from gardening, and, in case people like Zell's parents start asking why their kids are dead.
Yeah, that too. He wants, and his wife's looking really good right now. So, yeah. It's the best she's ever looked.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
The best looking wife here.
Oh, shit.
World map, Blue Field plays. The White SeeD ship is just north of Eddie's house, tucked in between a landmass and the center continent. I ram it with my garden to access it.
Yes, it's great.
White SeeD ship, no music, just the tide and seagulls.
Did you look at the waves?
Yeah, if you put it on, 4x speed, 3x speed?
Yeah.
You can tell the sections of the waves that are copy and pasted over to simulate motion.
It looks like fondue. Like really thick, a really thick substance. The way that they're doing it, it's
so they're really it's some thick water down there.
Yeah, I don't know. That's just what the way it read to me.
Awfully salty.
It makes me upset.
Sodium content.
All the background.
Dip your bread in it.
Every time I look at a background in this game, in the remastered version, I get upset.
You'll be able to buy it. They'll do the Saga Frontier algorithm tech to it. You can pay another $93.
I know that they were trying to make the bucks with the brand, and I just wish they would have given more.
Look, dude, we got the clean faces mod, all right?
I just wish they would have put more into this. Not the developers, but Square in terms of funding,
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, there's 4 white SeeDs standing on the poop deck.
Yeah, they're all in their idiot jumpsuits with their hands behind their back.
Yep.
The sun is setting, filling the entire sky with light and reducing the upper right corner to pure, bright whiteness. We meet again. Great opening line. Squall says we're SeeDs from Balam Garden, and he would like to speak to their leader. Can you imagine him saying we're SeeDs from Balam Garden, and behind Squall is Balam Garden that he just got off of? Which they've been to before?
Yeah. They've met, he was there.
White SeeD replies, I'm in charge, state your business, which is him saying, I am the manager.
Yes.
And depending on what you say, we may ask you to leave immediately.
You know what really bothers me about all this?
Nobody has a name?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Yes.
Call him Mike.
Yes. Kevin, something.
The Undertaker. Squall hits him with 5 dots. He says, I want to see Alone. The White SeeD leader fires 5 dots back like a volley.
You can't believe this shit.
Plus an exclamation point and a question mark.
Yep.
Squall says we pose no threat.
Yep.
Eddie had told us that you would be here.
He explains that Adea is no longer under her control, Ultimecia's control.
Yes.
She's now our ally.
So there's no reason for you to hide Alone's whereabouts from us. We want to take Alone back to protect her from Ultimecia.
Yeah.
Not true. He wants to get Alone to tap into her past powers to warn Renoa about psychological psychotrauma shit.
Yeah, and
my guy's lying, Chris.
The White SeeD leader also has a really good response here. He's like, I don't have any reason to believe you. You should please leave. Thank you.
Yeah. After Squall even said that, it's like they knew he was lying because they all look in unison down and shake their heads.
Yeah.
All the SeeDs on the ship do this shit.
We
3 of the 4 then run off.
Yeah, and we it's weird that they don't immediately kick us off with, we get to walk around the ship and talk to people.
Yeah, we got to go make our case.
But, both sides must make their case. none of the White Seed soldiers will give us any information, but I walked to the front of the boat, and there is a White Seed person there talking to some children who also say they are not allowed to speak to me. Did you go get that?
Yeah, one kid says they can't talk to strangers. The other kid says something similar.
Also, background, large moon.
Big moon. The SeeD apologizes and says there's nothing she can tell us. I talked to her again, and she nevertheless tells us something that I don't know.
Oh?
After Eddie left, the leader began taking care of everything. If he doesn't want to talk about it, well, we can't either. Then did you stay and listen to her story?
No, I missed this.
Oh, man.
I'm not comprehensive this time.
Today, we are going to start a new book. It's a story about a very wise man named Vascaroon.
Huh?
The title of the book is The Legend of Vascaroon. Once upon a time, there was a person named Hein.
Oh.
Hein was the ruler of the world. He became lazy and decided to make a tool to make his life easier.
A computer?
Hein made a neat tool. His tool could make more tools by itself. Soon there were lots of tools in the world. These tools were actually people. When Hein woke up, he was surprised because there were a lot of people. Hein wanted to reduce the number of people and used magic to burn up a lot of smart people.
Oh.
The small people were called children. The people cherished the children very much, so the people rebelled against Hein. Hein used powerful magic to fight them. The people couldn't use magic but had wisdom. Eventually, Hein began to lose the war because there were too many people to fight, and they were getting smarter. Therefore, he decided to make peace with the people by offering them half of his body along with his powers. Hein cut his body in half and gave the people half as promised. Then another war started. People began to fight over the power Hein offered them through his body. This war lasted for decades. Finally, King Zabalga and the Zabelga tribe emerged victorious and demanded Hein's body half to get its powers.
Half?
But the body ignored their demands? Is that like that? That was my spelling mistake. The body ignore their demands?
But I mean, sometimes my body ignores my demands.
Yeah, but you would put ignored or ignores.
Oh.
Like it's a wrong tense.
Yeah.
Then Vascaroon came to the rescue. He appeared before the confused Zelbagas and revealed to them that Hein's body half was corrupt and possessed no real power.
God, every time you say Heinz, I think you're talking about ketchup.
The body half was actually Hein's cast-off skin.
Or Ward.
The Zelbagas were angered by this truth and decided to destroy Hein. The Zelbagas never found Hein. People began to call him Hein the Magician and continued to hunt him down for centuries to come.
Magic ketchup.
So is that like a Jesus thing? My body, take my body, these powers, the power, like what is there any ritual? Like what the hell was that? Was it an origin story for magic?
Myths and legends. Yeah, we heard that story from like a grandpa or something in Bellum. I think I referenced it in the last episode.
Kind of like detail.
No, it wasn't that detailed, but we did learn about like the ceiling has half his body and shit, but it did not have like, who'd you say? Golgotha? Zilbasa?
Vascaroon?
Zilbasa?
Well, no, there's Zolbagan was like a leader of like a tribe there, and then Vascaroon was like the one that revealed the truth to that tribe.
Yeah, that's the first time we've heard those names. So,
yeah.
Wow. Okay, I missed that. So then we go back out to the main area, and now there is
it's a kid running around.
A big bad rascal variant.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, running around doing combos and shit, being excited about talking to strangers.
He pumps his fist after he talks to a stranger.
Yep.
I love kids. Next screen, back of the ship. Fucking Watts is here for some reason.
Yeah, holy fuck, it's Watts. And Zone. They're both happy to see us. Zone explains to us. What?
They're like, he's happy to see you, and Squall stares at him and says nothing.
The only thing better he could have said was like, who
are you?
Yeah. Zone explains that after we left, the Galbadian buttheads came after them, and they barely escaped this boat. Then they get in this big argument about like who is the bigger chicken wuss during the escape.
Yeah, like Zone went nuts and thought about swimming across the sea. Zone defends his action, saying that at least it was a plan, and telling us that Watts was like whining like a baby.
Yeah.
Mocking Watts, saying we're all gonna die, we're all gonna die.
Squall has the best thought.
He calls him a numbnuts.
Numbnuts?
Numbnuts.
Squall, I think he says this internally, but he doesn't understand how these wackos keep surviving. I think the answer to that question is they were in league with Renoa, and Renoa's dad is Fury Caraway, and that's how they keep escaping death and incarceration.
But they're not aware of it?
Yeah. They then ask about Renoa, and we tell them the news. Squall apologizes. Zone calls Squall an all-caps son of a bitch.
For some reason, she went unconscious after the fight.
Yeah.
And he says she's resting now. They couldn't correct her. He doesn't say the word coma or unconscious.
Yeah.
Just, she's resting now.
Yeah.
You son of a bitch, what did I say? What did I say, huh? Take care of her. Then nothing better happen to her. Scumbag. You pathetic lying scumbag. And Chris, what is a scumbag historically?
Is it a condom?
Full of cum.
Okay.
Watts steps in and tries to get his man, telling him to take it easy. She's not dead. They just don't know what's wrong with her, that's all. Ain't that right, sir?
Mm-hmm.
Squall would never give up on her, am I right? I noticed how Squall during all this never said, oh, by the way, I'm now in love with her.
Yeah, true.
Squall addresses none of this, which is a very hard action, and says, we came here to get alone because there's a new evil force after her. Hell of a sentence, Chris.
Yeah, evil force is a loaded term, and I mean, Zone and Watts are too dumb to, like, ask for clarification there.
Yeah.
It's like when Aaron Rodgers says he was immunized.
Right. No one bothered to say,
Yeah.
hey, that's not the right adjective.
Evil force, what? Like, you did not say fascist government. What are you talking about? So, yeah, I mean, Squall tells him the plan.
But they're idiots, so they'll totally buy,
Yeah.
hey, guys,
Yeah.
there's an evil force
Yeah.
after her. The plan is if we can get Alone and Renoa together, perhaps we can bring Renoa back. Watts buys it and tells Zone that Renoa is going to be fine. She promised she would come back. We all have to free Timber together, don't worry. Chris, is Timber still under her control? Galbadia's, like, still...
They don't have a president or a sorceress anymore. Who's
Okay.
in charge?
Cypher?
Fury Caraway? Or did he... No, he got...
He's still resting on his desk in Galbadia, as far
Doesn't he?
as I
Is he
know.
under house arrest? No, it was Martine that got kicked out.
Yeah, he's at Fisherman's Horizon,
Yeah.
sitting off the dock by the porno.
I don't know who's in charge. Yeah.
Zone calms down a little and says, all right, but I'm going to say it one more time. Something happens to Renoa again, I swear. Then he runs away. Watts stays put. We have control.
Yep, and we can ask Watts some questions.
Yes, gathering information was his specialty, Chris, remember.
Yes, it's true. So, first question.
About this ship.
Tell me about this ship.
Well, after this lady named Edia left, there haven't been any adults on this ship, sir. Chris, how the fuck old is Watts?
Remember his father was killed in the... Actually, I don't remember when his father was killed.
Fake net, when was Watts' father killed?
It was during some sort of uprising or something.
Initializing fake net.
Watts' father, one of the founders of the Forest Owls, was executed during the Timber War. It was near the time when Laguna was fucking off in the woods and going to see Julia.
Lady named Edia and disconnecting from the news of the world on a teenager cruise, Chris. We're just all here. No one really knows who... There's no radio.
It's unclear.
He concludes by saying, so far I've only seen kids and guys our age.
Kids and guys. Tell me about Alone.
Oh, you mean the pretty girl, sir? She left when some other ships came. Squall asks who these ships were. He replies, there were some soldiers on the ships. I've seen them before. Esther? Squall wonders what Esther wants with Alone. Presently, all we know, Chris, is that Laguna tried to prevent Esther from accessing Alone in the past.
Yeah.
So why would Alone be okay with it now? Also, if Esther provides refuge, why didn't Alone always go there? Furthermore, why did the Wide Seeds kidnap her in the training center? This is incongruous, and I hope it lines up. Why didn't all the White Seeds just go to Esther? And why would these responsible Esther soldiers leave the kid boat dangling out in the open sea?
Shit. I think the only rational explanation is that there has been some sort of internal change in Esther, and the White Seed ship is unaware of these changes.
Yeah, I guess, but still, I mean, if you rescue the important lady from the kid ship, perhaps you provide the kid ship safe refuge to park at your Esther harbor.
Are also true, yeah. Tell me about the leader.
The leader is usually in the cabin below deck, sir.
Thanks. I didn't go down below yet. I went up top.
Me too.
The place where you drive the boat. Does that have a name?
Bridge?
Bridge? You call that a bridge?
Fake net, where do you drive the boat?
Initializing fake net.
I'm led to believe it was a bridge, but I am also told it's a cockpit, defined as a protected, somewhat enclosed space on deck, usually from where a boat is controlled or steered.
The windows are fogged to hell. Just kidding. It's really bright outside and it's kind of whited them out. Zone is in here too, as is one White Seed. An issue of Timber Maniacs is on the floor.
Cool.
Zone says it's kind of cool to watch the sea because you hardly ever get bored of it. Chris, that's trite, but I agree.
Yes.
Zone also says he learned how to pilot the ship a little. Quote, it's tough. With trains, you just have to worry about staying on track. But with ships, oh man, you got to worry about the entire sea.
He should have said with trains, you just got to try not to get hit by them.
Yeah.
Did he get hit by a train?
More than once.
One of them
also,
did?
the stupid make a fake train.
Yeah. Whew.
The third time you talk to him, he says, hey, that's the girl next door. How'd you get it? Hey man, listen, I was wondering if you can give it to me. Did you do this?
No, I didn't know he could do this.
You can pick, give it to him for free, give it to him for 25,500 gil, or don't give it to him. I give it to him for free, Chris. Do you know why?
Why?
Because he says, Sirius, oh man, thanks, you're awesome. Here, I want you to have this. You know what he gave me?
A card?
A rename card, which means I can rename something.
A Guardian Force, probably.
And he gave me the Shiva card.
Oh.
Yeah.
Cool.
My Guardian Force Shiva card. Who amongst us has not been lost at sea without access to pornographic literature?
It's true.
The White Siege suggests trying talking to his leader again. He also says, before I had to keep a watch on my own, but now Zone's helping me. It's so much easier.
Great.
Eventually, he'll talk about wanting to eat meat instead of just fish all day, and Zone's like, hey, pay up. Every time he mentions meat, he has to give Zone 10 gil. Zone says next time it's 100 gil.
It's like a swear jar for meat.
Yeah. Do not desire the meat. Act as a pescatarian. We're at sea.
Doth thou desire the meat?
A lady is sitting down. She says, like, the scene had changed when I went down to the middle deck.
Oh, it did?
Yeah, she says sunshine makes her feel good, and she says Watts told her sunshine's good for you. These people have seasonal affective disorder.
Yeah, all true.
Some guy out here is sitting around and he sneezes and says it's getting too cold for this shit.
It is. Then we can go down below.
Yeah.
There's a pre-rendered chandelier with candles on it.
Is this like a ballroom?
I think it's just a room.
I guess.
Like, the captain's
It's
room.
like dorms or bunks or anything.
Yeah, I know,
down
it's
here.
weird. There's a chandelier and candles hanging from the ceiling that are slightly swinging via like 5 frames of animation. Squall hands over the letter.
The leader, though, is back to his door with his hand behind his back. Tony Soprano taught you always look at the door when you're like the leader of something because you can see if somebody's coming in to fuck with you.
Oh, I didn't know that. They, as they're talking, or he's like, this letter's from Matron. And Squall's like, oh, you guys call her Matron too. They're finding common ground here.
Yes, becoming friends.
Squall explains that Matron is back to the Matron that they remember. The White Seed Man thanks Squall.
He also says they kicked her ass.
Oh, yeah, we had to fight her, but yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm,
listen, we fought Matron, but it was for her own good.
But it was fine. Yeah, that's... maybe think of a different way to phrase that. They notice that even their SeeD salutes are the same.
Yeah.
They do that shit. Sure. The SeeD guy says that Alone is no longer here. Sad music plays that I didn't write down, and the scene changes to the outside. I think we're in a flashback now. What music do we have here?
Drifting?
Drifting.
Yep, that's it. And he's like, hey, you remember when we picked her up from the garden back near the FH coast?
Yeah, that was weird. Sid didn't tell me anything.
Yeah. So then we're filling in the blanks, basically. Here's what's going on, going through. We're seeing a flashback about the events that played out after that. We first see Alone chatting with all the people aboard. The leader goes on to tell us that after they headed east to get away from Adea and Galbadia, they encountered the Galbadian fleet. They were able to escape, but their ship broke down and they were stranded. Like they had a flat or something. There was no way that they were going to allow the Galbadians to take Alone, so they prepared for a battle. These people, I guess, are trained. Like, by the way, like Sid and Adea both established the SeeD curriculum. Do they have fighting skills? Like, I don't know how they...
Maybe they have naval fight. Like, the Navy can fight as well as the Army.
Yeah.
Just on boats, I guess.
I don't know. Like, what is the origin of the SeeD martial arts? I
Both
don't know.
make use of the F-18 Hornet.
Maybe. Then an Eshtar. Esther, what are we saying?
I say Esther. I don't know what the hell you're saying.
Eshtar. Eshtar's ship appeared. A battle began between them, and they were caught in the middle. Then something strange happened. We then see a scene of Eshtar soldiers boarding the White SeeD ship.
With zoot suits.
Yeah, they've got we fought these guys as Laguna in the mines that one time. Remember we got pushed off the cliff? They told them to evacuate, but the SeeDs refused. The Eshtar soldiers left the ship, but it looks like Alone is chasing after them.
Yeah, it cuts to Alone out in the front, standing dangerously on the outer edge of the ship.
The SeeD guy tells us that the Eshtar ship pulls away. Alone yelled out something, but we don't get to know what that phrase is. It's like a lost in translation moment. Like the ship is Bill Murray and Alone is Scarlett Johansson. That's what's going on here, right? Right, I guess?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, she jumps onto their ship.
Yeah, it wasn't like her at all. To this day, I don't understand why she did that. Then cuts back to the present, the music stops. Seagulls and waves fill the air. After that, Esther's fleet withdrew from the battle and fled. So they just left them with the Galbadia to keep battling Galbadia? Or they killed the Galbadian fleet? Like what?
If the
objective was Alone, then
then they would have
pulled out.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Seems like they just would have spitefully scuttled that ship, though. Anyway, after they left, well, it's a long story. After our ship was fully repaired, we planned to go to Esther. Sorry, Squall. We couldn't protect her.
Shit.
Squall's like, tight. Alone's at Esther. Thanks.
Peace. Yeah, we don't even really get any decompression from this moment because we are back on Balam Garden and Balam Garden is playing.
Yeah.
With our man Nita.
You can actually go back to the SeeD ship here now if you want to, and you talk to the little kid, the little rascal out front to go back to your boat.
Oh, okay.
If you needed to go back to hear more story. And like, there's some story that, according to the script, somebody else was telling about monsters from the moon around here, but I couldn't get that to trigger anywhere.
Interesting. Yes, Nita, he's talking to us. He asks Squall if he's decided on a destination. Squall tells him that it's Eshtar.
Yeah.
Nita calls it xenophobic Eshtar.
Yeah, there's some hint of bias there.
Yeah. That area's terrain is not really suited for flying the garden.
How do you know, dude?
Squall's like, anyway, set a course. Guy.
Yeah, for Esther.
Go.
Do it.
Which we can't actually do. We have to go drive to Fisherman's Horizon to do this.
Fisherman's Horizon. Squall solo goes to the infirmary and says, or thinks, I guess, let's go, Renoa. Let's go meet Alone. Alone will bring us together. Sorry, everyone. I can't go on like this. And he says out loud, it's a bit far, but we'll make it. Dude, he's betting all of his chips on this Alone thing.
Yeah.
He's starting to do crazier and crazier things to try to make it into a reality. He then carries Renoa in the piggyback ride configuration.
Yeah, this entire situation was very jarring for me because I obviously had my 3x speed on because the boating is so fucking slow in this game.
Yeah.
And so as soon as you hit Fisherman's Horizon, it switches to that infirmary scene, and it looks like Squall's like jumping the window and like quickly kidnapping her. Yeah. It's pretty funny. I was like, whoa, slow down.
He is kidnapping her because Katawaki keeps derelict of duty, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have permission to do this.
Is Katawaki the last adult at the garden?
We keep hearing about Instructor Aki.
I'm going to say Aki got it in the garden.
Somebody else mentioned Aki in the library at one point, so I think Aki's still alive, but I don't know if we've ever seen Aki. I don't know.
Like, is it the lunch ladies? Like, is that it?
Yeah, that's true. Wow.
So once you get outside, you have to manually haul her. And once you get into Fisherman's Horizon, there's no music, just idle waves, and it gets progressively darker as Squall walks to the east.
Yeah.
You only get the first screen of Fisherman's Horizon.
Yeah, then it fades out and fades back in. Love Grows is playing again. And I wrote here, and I think you've already addressed this, but I wrote, why is love only growing when Renoa is unconscious?
Yeah.
Because that's the only time the song is played.
It raises his love grow meter.
Yeah.
But we're on apparently the tracks in the sun is setting, and these are tracks past that upper part of Esther, past the abandoned train station.
I think we learned when we are...
Upper part of Fisherman's Horizon, I'm sorry.
Yeah, when we were in FH originally we learned there are no more trains that run to Esther.
So he's got to walk it.
Yeah.
And he says, it's pretty far. I don't think you would be this far. What am I doing? Going to Esther, find Alone, talk to Alone. But there's no guarantee that everything will be resolved if I talk to Alone. Even so, I'm sure I've changed.
Yeah.
So that last part, very optimistic because he's starting to be aware of his own feelings. But the first part are the delusional thoughts of an obsessed and desperate man.
That's true. And when he says, I sure have changed, I don't know if that's true.
Is it like when someone thinks they've kicked an addiction, but really they've just picked up a new addiction that they've replaced it with? Like he's done hating himself, and now he's like trying to solve a different problem since he can't solve himself?
Sort of, yeah. I mean, I don't think that he's necessarily doing all this for like, he doesn't have ill intentions, but he's still fucked. Like, you know?
This will not fix you.
Yes, this is not like, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Like, Monday's coming, dude. Sorry.
You're going to have to go back to work. The scene cuts to a wide shot of the railroad tracks fading into the horizon. Squall just plops Renoa down near a lamp.
Yeah, I do not like this at all. He lays her on the side of the road, basically. I mean, I know there's no cars, like there's no trains. But and then he stares in the sunset. But dude, I do believe that if I was hauling an unconscious person, not saying that I would, but if I had to for some reason, I would make sure I kept my eyes on them the whole time. Like, also, I might put them in like a bag.
Mm-hmm. A bag?
Well, like with their they could still.
You want to put their head in a bag?
No, their head would be exposed, like a hammock that I could like a backpack.
Okay. The first word you said twice was bag. You don't.
Well, like a.
Go bag you, Chris. Well, I'm glad you brought that up because this isn't the first time Squall just sets the body down in a weird space.
Oh?
Like, as you keep playing the game, Renoa's unconscious for quite some time, and she's just, like, on cold metal, on a floor. Probably bleep that.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of...
Lots of shit.
Yeah.
Did you notice there's some twinkling in the sky that's not the sun?
No, I didn't.
There's a distant twinkle, and it's on the opposite side of the sun. I don't know what it's supposed to be. That.
But Squall, like, he sets his legs over the edge of the concrete.
Yeah.
Feet dangling over the bridge. The sun sets, the sky's orange, the tide's getting pulled to land beneath his feet.
Mm-hmm.
And he thinks, Chris.
He does.
I wonder what everyone's doing. They're probably laughing at me. Or maybe they're angry. What do you think? And he's out loud now?
Yeah.
He's talking to the body?
Mm-hmm.
Does tell the truth, I worry too much about what others think of me. I hate that side of me. That's why I didn't want anyone to get to know me.
Is that true?
I haven't seen it. Like, he's standoffish, but I don't... To me, Squall has not suffered embarrassment in this game at all. I don't know if he's capable of doing that. But then again, every teenager is secretly, oh, I don't care what others think, but they're a fragile person inside.
Yeah.
You just say that as like armor.
I thought his entire shtick was not necessarily about worrying about what others think of him, but more about not letting people too close to him so that he doesn't receive, the abandonment issue portion of it. Like
yeah, but if someone thinks something about you, they may care for you and then abandon you.
Also true,
right?
Yeah.
So he's just like, he's thinking he's playing 4D chess with his feelings here.
Yeah. He then starts quoting all the things that he's heard people say about him, like, quote, Squall is an unfriendly, introverted guy. He thinks that this made it easy for him when people perceived him that way. Like if he's like, oh, he's he's unfriendly, he's introverted, like no one gives a shit. Like
he's still talking out loud to Renoa, by the way.
Yeah. And then he tells her that this must be a secret between us two, me and you, the unconscious body.
I tell my wife most of my secrets while she's asleep, actually.
It's probably a good idea. I'm uncomfortable with this entire scene. We've talked about that.
Squall can then walk over to Renoa and take a knee. He says her name, then it fades to black. It comes back up, and he's resumed hauling her across the tracks. At some point, Squall makes it back to land and a rural, abandoned train station.
Yep.
No music, just the gentle whistling of wind. At this place, there's like a dusty water tower, a derelict train platform, and some rusted-out tanker, like cart things.
Yeah, this has not been used in a while.
Kistis and Zell are here.
Mm-hmm.
With Kistis telling Squall he's late, Zell asks if the princess is still asleep. Kistis tells Squall she might wake up with a kiss from the prince, and I throw up.
By the way, yeah, rest in peace, Quistis Trep. Good night. Her character has died.
She's done.
Yeah. Character development over. Sorry.
So there's two possibilities for our friends being here. One, Nito is full of shit, and he really can navigate the Esthar continent. And two, while Squall was off like talking to himself and Renoa, telling her the secrets, they were like creep walking behind him like idiot spies.
Or maybe they got a head start while he was stealing the body.
But they would have had to have known he was stealing the body. I mean, maybe you can just read Squall like an open book, right?
Well, no, yeah, well, they
know he's going to take her and
Katawaki's in the closet hiding.
Yeah. That's where she was. She was just narking on him the entire time.
Shit.
Squall can't believe this shit, pacing 2 steps forward and turning around to address his court of peers. Is that why you came all the way out here to tell me that? Kissis is like, hey, yo, you're going to Esther? We're coming too. Zell says they're Edia's escort, Chris. They're not out here for Squall.
Oh.
Out of fucking nowhere, Edia, still in her Edia clothes, saunters in from the left side of the screen. She speaks, let us be on our way, Squall. So they dropped Squall's ass off a Fisherman's Horizon, went and collected her, and then Nita put it into overdrive and just like rammed the garden into the... You think he would have seen the garden, right? That thing's huge. But maybe he's so like one-track mind and focused on like, he's repeating this shit to himself the entire way.
Maybe they rode Zell skateboards just to pass this up. Maybe.
Like Back to the Future, they finally got power.
Finally. Anyway. Then we get control back. Squall asks, I guess when you speak with her, Squall asks Edia what business she has in Esthar. She says that she must go see Dr. Odine.
Also, Renault has been plopped back down on the ground by the water tower.
Yeah, she's very dirty now.
Get that shit dirty.
Then we get some options here about like who's Dr. Odine. Didn't write them down because I picked whatever.
You can reply with whatever here, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
But if you say who, Zell will say, you know the famous Odine brand, don't you?
Yeah.
That's all Dr. Odine's work. When it comes to knowledge about the sorceress, he's number one. Isn't that what Renoa had when she went to go confront Edia?
The Odine bangle or whatever, yeah. Mm-hmm.
When Edia says that we need to leave soon as we're ready, I wanted to hope Mom was taking us out on a picnic.
It's true. I did choose whatever, by the way.
What do you say?
Squall just says, why do we need to see this guy?
Gives a shit.
And then Edea says that Sorceress Ultimecia is still alive. She is able to take control of her body at any time. If that were to happen, she would once again bring terror. Edea then says that she values her well-being and wants to protect herself, but if it were possible, she would like to rid herself of the sorceress power. Dr. Odine may know a way to do so, and he may be able to save her. Squall agrees, and they all decide to go to Esthar.
I'm really frustrated with Edia's language because she kind of divorces the whole mother angle the entire time and just... One is speaking in self... I mean, I guess not wanting to be possessed by a sorceress isn't entirely in self-interest because it can have great effects on the global political system.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just so dry.
Yeah.
Like, we're not getting any more details about their past. She's not talking about what the fuck Cypher's deal is. Like, if she scraped him off the floor. Like, I want to know where this dude...
Yeah.
Need answers, Chris, and Mom's not talking.
Mom's not talking.
Mom's not talking.
Fade to black. When it comes back up, Squall has resumed with his Renoa hull.
Yep.
Selphie and Irvine come barreling down the tracks. Zell says, hey, they're back, which is very clever justification for why they weren't here.
Yes. They went to go, quote, take a look.
Yeah.
Selphie's like, Renoa, is Renoa asleep? She says that Renoa is so cute when she's asleep.
Yeah.
Squall says, whatever.
This comatose patient stolen from the infirmary and involuntarily thrust in the middle of nowhere to look for a mythical city no one can find.
Oh, it's so awful.
She looks cute when she's asleep.
Yes. He wonders if we can actually make it to Eshtar. Selphie then hits him with a woo! Are you blushing? Everyone starts giggling, and Irvine tells Selphie not to make Squall angry. This is no time for this, by the way.
No,
we don't need to be doing this. They say that they could not find the city north or south, so we're going to go try to go east.
Irvine says the funniest thing in this game.
Oh?
Esthar is on this continent, right? It's supposed to be huge. I don't know why, but I can't seem to find it anywhere.
He's explored the whole continent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On this continent, right? We took 10 minutes. I didn't see anything.
Holy fuck, I can put a day in my party.
Yeah, I forgot all about this.
Yeah.
Did you remember this?
No.
Like, as far as we know now, this is a party member. Like, she's mom's in our party. It's mom and her kids.
Great. Yeah. It's awesome. Did you do it?
Pick? Yeah, I picked... who'd you pick?
I picked Zell, Adea, and Squall. Obviously. Squall.
I picked Kistis and Adea. Mommy, and mommy ex-girlfriend.
Great.
What's her level?
It's good. 26.
Yeah, I got 26 too.
Yeah. Why is she level 26? I don't get it. Like,
she's 26 years old.
We knocked her down. We knocked her level down. I don't know. It's pretty cool.
I think it's great.
I don't think this is permanent, though, unfortunately.
No, it's not. Which it doesn't really make sense to level her in that case.
Yeah, it doesn't. Which, that is unfortunate, but whatever. I still wanted to check her out.
The novelty of it is enough for me. It's like when you got Beatrix in Final Fantasy IX. It's like, holy shit, she kicks ass.
Then we march off. Renoa is still on my back, and Adea has not changed clothes to remove the boat steering wheel from her back.
Jingle bells.
After a short jaunt on the world map, we come to
the world map for a second.
Yeah, like 1 second. We come to an icy canyon. No, wait, it's salt.
Can I back you up real quick? Did you go back to the train station?
No.
I did. There's a guy here.
A guy?
Yeah, an elderly man. He's called Elderly Man. He says, this here used to be quite a station in itself.
Oh.
That's it.
Cool.
So anyway.
Great.
Salt Lake. Whistling noise, even louder.
Yep. No one can see a goddamn city.
It's a shade of white and blue. It looks like ice, but it's not.
Yep.
Also looks carved, like giant ice platforms floating out in the Arctic Sea. But then, did you notice the background at all?
Yeah, it's like glitching.
Yeah.
Like the sky is like glitching.
And I genuinely thought the remaster's fucked up.
No, it's not. But me too, actually. Adea says that we're in for a long trip. Zell says that he'll be by our side the whole way. Adea thanks him.
Why'd she thank him?
I don't know. But, well, I guess she's saying thanks for your support, but also you need to kill me if you need to kill me.
Yes, as long as I can be myself, everything will be fine. But if Ultimecia gets inside me again, you all know what to do. Do you have Ultimecia? Contact 1-800-MALOX for gut pain.
Everyone gets sad for a moment, but Selphie tries to pep us up.
Chris, it's an obvious plan to let Edea get to Esthar and then repossess her. Like, we're just, what are we doing? Why are we taking, why don't we see what's there first and then...
Yeah.
Sorry.
Selphie says that we're all back together again, and we're going to try to bring back Renoa. It's like a picnic. We're going to have fun! ! No,
I love her optimism, Chris. Selphie still gets to be a character sometimes.
It's true. I do enjoy Selphie.
Squall, who is insane, says, somebody once told me that if you mention bad things, they'll come true. I know it's a silly superstition, but right now I want to believe it, so let's not talk about it anymore.
Is this the reason why he never wants to talk about anything?
I think so. He's worried about this superstition someone told him once, and he's just convinced himself it's real.
I think it's more about him always
There's glass in the Smarties.
I think it's more always about him worrying about his mission rank rather than wanting to have a conversation about anything.
But they know not to argue with him now, right? So the thing all nods.
Let's run to these salt mountains.
Salt Flats plays, new song.
Yeah, cool. It's a cool song. We'd never heard this before.
Nope.
And there's dinosaur bones, monster bones,
dinosaur
cobra heads.
Skeleton bent over a large mountain, salt up front, more giant vertebrates remains off on each side.
It's a cool looking place.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like, did this dry up? Did they eat a lot of salt and all dry out? Like, are these just T-Rexar's friends and he lived?
It's
a King Kong Island.
Probably some sort of lore reason for this after we get some more monster lore, I think. Maybe. I don't know.
Hopefully. So how'd you navigate around here?
I just walked a little bit here and there, and
You didn't climb the first dinosaur spine you saw?
No.
Oh man, I did.
Did you get something?
Yeah, I got a cliffside screen to the right. It leads to a meteor draw point.
Oh, cool.
The background keeps flickering on every screen. I don't remember if this means something or if the game is fucked up. I fought a Visage.
Yeah, there's a lot. This place is loaded with Visages.
Eddie's limit is sorcery. It does Ice Strike.
Yeah, the move that killed Squall. Squall's dead. Yeah.
I cross a spine bridge and get a Thundaga draw point. I press X and leap off the cliff. Did you leap off this cliff?
No, I think I must have missed this.
When you do, the character models like shrink as they leap off to simulate their perspective change. Like they're leaping 120 feet forward into the air.
Oh, weird.
Off the screen, on this screen, there's a massive, like, decaying skin and bones of insect-like creatures, maybe all of Godzilla's friends. A spider, a beetle thing, a Skeksis from Dark Crystal.
Huh. Yeah, I really do want the lore of this place.
Yeah.
So I hope, if we don't get it, we'll have to look it up and
Myths
see if
and
there's
legends.
anything. Yeah.
So eventually you make it to a screen that functions as a cliff. It overlooks a salt flat that stretches out into the horizon. I head right and find a save point. But you can go left and continue along the path. From a cliff, a massive brown-boned praying mantis-handed red-toed elephant man, red-tusked, bug-winged, Geonosis resident-looking-ass undead monster flies up to greet us.
Yes. It's a goddamn random assemblage of various bones is what I have.
Yeah, it's like a big collection of like, I want to believe like some magic collected all these dinosaur bones and built this out of it, then animated it.
It's a boss battle, Eric.
It's abandoned.
Is it abandoned or Abaddon?
Abaddon.
Abaddon?
Fake net, what are we fighting?
Initializing fake net.
I, who speak with the mouth of God, say it is Abaddon.
Squall actually tells us he gives you like the classic Final Fantasy undead monster use recovery thing. He actually tells us about it.
Yeah. I didn't believe him, so I scanned this monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd it say?
Well, it said one of the following three, Eric. Is it number one, a monster born in the depths of a bottomless pit, able to protect itself from physical attacks, but weak to healing magic? Is it number two, a monster born of ancient bones deep in Great Salt Lake? It's assumed that it came to life after the Great Salt Lake dried up. Or is it number three, an undead amalgamation of various monster bones, cannot be torn apart by physical attacks?
Salt Lake dried up.
And number two, ding.
You know why I thought about that?
What's
in a
that?
Timber Maniacs issue, there's a picture of this full of water, so it had to be dried up recently.
Oh, cool.
At some point, like, did you have any trouble with this?
No, at some point it does like a fancy tall man pose, like he's going to prance around and gets real tall and increases his physical defense. I was only doing like 25 damage to it at that point in time.
Cool.
Then I used triple via the Cerberus summon, and then I used a lot of Kiragas on this thing and killed it. You can draw Kiraga from this thing too, which I forgot to do. I didn't notice until the very end.
Load up. It has a really cool death animation where it turns to ash and blows away in the wind.
Yeah.
There's no discussion about this.
No, like, did you guys see this fucking thing?
Do you think there's any more of those?
Yeah.
Like, did Squall have Renault on his back, or did he gently set her down in the dirt?
Yeah. Yeah. Renault is now dirty and salty.
Yeah. She's going to dry out, man.
Yeah. Shit.
I head along a horizontal path. Then glitches in the Matrix start to happen. Summoning ritual Fort Dragonia space magic math insignia start appearing in the sky. It sounds like a TV broadcast is trying to come through.
Yeah.
I head right and the cliffside, and then I head back. And now what happens?
You have to go like interact with the glitchy hole and the screaming hole, and suddenly a hole opens up in midair.
Yeah, it feels like somebody played Metal Gear Solid here.
It looks like the docking bay on the Death Star or something. Like a thing, a panel has opened up.
Yeah, or like in the Truman Show when he crashes the boat into the skywall.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah,
it's just like,
yeah.
What do you mean this is fake?
We then climb an invisible ladder.
Yeah,
to the hole and head inside.
Kistis wonders how there can be a hole in midair. Squall says this is the only way. Great answer. Great reply.
Yeah, thanks. The spy plays.
And we're on a catwalk in some kind of industrial back room.
Industrial science place. Yeah, did you notice down below this bridge that we're on, there's a bunch of strange panels?
I put solar absorption devices, but maybe they're like mirror
like
things.
honeycomb or something?
Yeah.
I wondered if they're like the same devices that FH had in their like panel in the middle.
Yeah.
We learned from the Master Fisherman like the
science portion left.
Yeah. Yeah. So I wonder if there's some influence there. I thought
rebuilt their tech with less of a budget.
Yep.
The next screen terminates into an airlock. Along with a customary yellow and black caution coloring, green and purple painted metal provides some neat highlights. We go into the airlock, and it leads to a hexagonal platform, one that moves over and then up.
Yeah, this is the same shape as those panels. So there's, I don't know if that shape is significant or it's just how they designed it.
Hexagon sun. The camera cuts to a closer shot as it moves up, and finally the gang decides to have a discussion about the wild shit happening here.
Yeah.
Kisses wonders who made this place. Edia says she has no clue. I just realized Squall is now holding Renoa vertically like he's about to perform the magic trick where he saws her in half. Or horizontally, I guess, where he's carrying her, basically. Squall thinks, I don't know what I'm doing, where I am. I don't know if we'll ever get to Esther, but I don't care. He's about to lose it, Chris.
Yeah.
He's just laid Renoa on the cold metal floor with no pillow or anything. That's just a body, son.
He has his "this is reality, let's go" moment, but he says, "What else? Let's go."
Yeah. He literally says that.
Yeah.
Walk forward, hexagon door opens up, delivers us to the worker bees in Solaris. Adia, and I can't tell if she thinks Squall is insane or if this is an honest question, says, Squall, what are you thinking? Squall thinks he doesn't care at this point. Nothing else will surprise him. Like Chris said, what else? Let go. Let's go.
What else let go works too. Then we go
CG
through.
Cutscene.
Yeah, go ahead.
Cloaking device deactivating, revealing the gold and turquoise city of Esthar. Kista says, what is this, my goodness? And this is where I note that she says my goodness a lot in this game. Like, that's her phrase.
Okay.
While Edia wonders what's going to happen. CG cutscene. Hexagonal glass doors open. Double-barreled silver railings extend on each side of the platform. Gears move the platform across the bars, and for some reason, a car horn honks. It cuts to an overhead shot as our party is loaded into a roller coaster rail, and this fucking thing falls down a 20-degree decline, an open-air car with no safety restraints, and shoots through the center of Esthar at 1,000 miles per hour. It cuts to behind-the-back shot of our heroes looking bewildered, then pans around our crew, revealing green and red tubes with other personal crafts shooting through. We enter a garage, then come to a stop at a dull, gray metal platform.
At this point in time in all of Final Fantasy, is this the most like future sci-fi thing that we've ever seen?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's very 90s future sci-fi too, with how smooth and like...
Yes.
I don't know how to describe like 90s, like graphics artists have finally been able to hide polygons and make smooth edges in graphic design for movies and shit. I don't know. It's very of its time. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, it's not quite, it's like one or two generations past like the Tomorrowland vision.
Yeah, no, it's like, very 60s sci-fi vision.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's like Esther is heavy foundations in like rocket age sci-fi.
Yeah.
Space age. Squall gets off and says, judging from their technology, they must know we're here. It's possible we might encounter some hostility, so stay alert.
Yeah, that was actually one of the first things that I was wondering was like, they're just letting us in. There must be a reason for this because otherwise that would be
I don't
clunky.
think anyone. We learn later that we're the first visitors in forever here.
Yeah, but
in that we don't know if that's because we're the only idiots to find it or if they just kill everybody else who tries.
Yeah.
Then there's an audible ringing again.
Steam kettle sound.
Kistis passes out. Squall takes a knee and begs for it not to happen now. Edia puts a hand to her head. So is Edia going under too?
I guess. I couldn't quite figure that out.
I picture Renoa, I think, is a body on the ground now, but Squall just dropping her and her head clanging against them.
Game over.
Yeah. Renoa set down before pass out.
Fission mailed.
Party junctions. Yeah, fission mail. Precisely. Snake, fucking time compression. Is that it, Chris?
That's it. We're going to be Laguna, but I think that's going to be in the next episode.
Yes.
Let's check in with the RealNet.
Initializing RealNet.
John Doe says we sent Renoa to a farm upstate. Kal-El says, who's taking care of Angelo right now? Angelo is perpetually off screen at all times.
That's what I wonder, man. Like, Angelo does show up in a scene later. A little bit. I don't know if you've gotten there yet, but it's just like, who's...
I haven't gotten there yet, yeah.
Like, was Angelo following Squall down the train tracks?
Yeah. Shy Guy 32 says, imagine going into the training center and encountering Angelo in a random battle. It's good. Shy Guy 32 says, Adea's outfit steers the white seed ship. That's where she got that.
Yeah, precisely. It's the other half of the boat thing.
Great.
She just ripped it off and added it to her, like, cape.
Speaking of that
Those used to be curtains.
Speaking of that room, John Doe says this was back before the internet had fully taken off, so physical pornography access was still a premium.
Yeah, absolutely. And they don't have the woods on the ship. I was like, I'm bored of this one now. You can have it.
John Doe says, I forget if we ever get like an explanation for why Adia has her own separate group of seeds. I think the answer is that they were the original seeds, right? kind of.
I mean, for that to be possible, like how long has the garden been active, right?
Well,
like,
not necessarily these students,
the
but
boat
that
group,
that establishment was the original one. Like when they first decided to do this, and then it grew into the garden after they got Norg. They sailed around until they got Norg's funding, basically. Shy Guy 32 puts a good visual in my head by saying all caps, and I would walk 500 miles.
the Proclaimers. Yeah.
Yes. Cal L says love can only grow in a battlefield. Panda Pajama 17 says the real romantic dream is thinking you can piggyback someone for that long.
Yeah, that takes tremendous strength. That'll fuck your back up too. He's young though.
I mean, like, yeah, he is young, but like, I mean, even like a 50-pound kid, like after a while, it's like, whoa, get off. John Doe says love only grows when Renoa is unconscious because Squall's burgeoning teen feelings for her are overshadowed by how completely annoyed he is by her when she's able to talk.
Yeah, that's it's not a healthy foundation for a relationship at all.
No. Cal L says you're saying that you wish Squall would keep his eyes on her.
Alternate title of Eyes on Me is like Body on Ground.
Yeah. Panda Pajama 17 says, I wish Dr. Odine was just Odin in a white coat. Xantetsuken, motherfuckers.
Got the 6-legged horse. I wonder if that I wonder if that was all Sentra lore, probably, right?
The what now?
Vascaroon and Hind.
Oh, yeah, maybe so. Mm-hmm.
Half of my body, some of my skin.
John Doe says, let the Renoas hit the floor, let the Renoas hit the floor, let the Renoas hit the floor.
Drowning Pool.
Cliff Racer says his strength is enhanced by GF.
The real GF was what we hauled with us all along.
Yeah. Thanks, RealNet, for joining us tonight. We appreciate you. Thank you. We will see you next time. This episode is a production of Retrograde Amnesia, recorded on November 12th, 2021. Thank you, Mark, for the music.
I think that's it. I think you got to end on top.
Find us on Twitter at RetroAmnesiaPod. And if you like us, tell a friend or support us on Patreon at patreon.com/RetroAM. Get early access, 2 weeks, bonus episodes, mini-series, voting rights for our next series or mini-series, and access to the RealNet. Email us at podcast@retrogradeamnesia.com. Until next time, Eric.
Yes, we will kill the sorceress, the true sorceress, pick my girlfriend up off the floor.
And now you may go back to sleep.
Squall hits him with 5 dots and says he wants to say... they were Ether soldiers, Squir. They were Ether... Fucking Ether.
Just remember, we learned from the master...
Initializing fake test.
A bit low on outtakes this week. Please enjoy 16 randomly selected seconds from episode 11 of our Patreon exclusive Parasite Eve miniseries.
Vehicles like managers are no longer necessary.
God damn it, I wrote that too.
Fucking
Also,
beat
the
you,
age
dude.
of nucleic domination has come to an end, by the way. I don't know if you know that. Managers are no longer needed, and the age of nucleic domination is over. Now, of course...
Slot your tropes in a spreadsheet.
Now, of course...